Well, I'll say this one. It was really cool to see this happen. This is a crazy sale. I mean, I know it's tough to price. It can be tough to price out original art, but I'm honestly, I'm getting a little better at it. I've been looking at more at original art and everything. And so this is a story page, page 9 from Tales of Suspense 39. So, original art went for $552,000. This is over $200,000 more than the next closest page from Tales of Suspense 39 sold for. And that was like last year. Went for, I think, like 330. And this one went for 552. One of the biggest sales of this entire auction. I mean, you can see here, it was the 6th biggest sale. Because I ordered them. Yeah, so 6th biggest sale, almost sold as much as this Detective Comics 27. Definitely the most expensive original art that sold in this auction. And yes, Greg Hunt, that is so much money for a page. But I mean, original art it's another beast. I mean, it really is. And there was a lot of pretty cool original art in this one. And I'll scroll through and I'll find a couple of them. I mean, there was this Frank Frazetta Vampirella one that went for, I think that was the number 2 original art. Yeah, 276,000. This one really surprised me. Like these Robert Crumb, who's like this, I don't know what you'd call it. I can't think of the word offhand, but basically like a more obscure type artist from the 70s generally. Had usually some pretty graphic art that was it. Like basically I got one of these books, the preview books for this auction. And it was just like almost every page was just full nudity. And it was all this Robert Crumb stuff. And so like you got to be kind of careful a little bit with what you're showing with that kind of thing. But I mean, 240,000 for this Snarf number 6 cover original art. I mean, one of the biggest ones out there. And we had the Frank Miller, like this is a pretty cool one. This Elektra cover, but still like, it's just like it's like a random cover, it's like Daredevil 190. I mean, I bet a 9.8 of that book is worth like, I don't know, $500 or something. I mean, maybe 800. I mean, let's take a look. So Daredevil 190. And let's just see like what a 9.8 of Daredevil 190 goes for. And then you compare that to that original art for that page. Yeah, so look, a 9.8. I was way off. $80. $80 for a 9.8 of Daredevil 190. But then when you're talking about the original art, $252,000. I mean, because it's like, it's Frank Miller. It's a Frank Miller original drawing. Like, but it's some of that stuff is super wild on pricing out original art. And yeah, I'm generally the same way, but I've been very wary of original art for a while. But I have started dipping my toes into it. I've been watching like every auction that has original art. I scan through them, and I'm generally just looking for like images that catch my attention. And then I start digging into it a little more. One of the best places that you can do to help price that is Heritage Sold Listings. Like that's where you can get an idea what a lot of original art sells for. That's it's almost what you have to use, because it's not like there's a Go Collect or a GPA or whatever for original art. And you just kind of have to look at historical sales for what this stuff goes for. But man, original art has exploded over the last couple of years. It was always expensive, but last few years it's gotten pretty wild. Precode Thing says there was a Tomb of Dracula cover he was eyeing, but he knows so little about original art, it became uncomfortable pulling the trigger. Yeah, I mean, what you kind of have to do is, because I've been looking at various like Precode horror art, and even some like, even though I teased Bronze Age horror, like if I could get a cool original art like cover, like that would be pretty cool, as long as it's not too expensive. But now it's like they're all going for like $30,000. Like it's like no matter what, it's like 30 grand. I mean, and then you get other stuff that's 200, 300, 400,000. And you just, it's a rich man's game. I think for a lot of that original art. But